what is the market like over in Sweden and other countries over there for American-style barbecue products like sauces and rubs and things like that?
It's huge. It's huge. They have there's a couple of challenges because it's within the EU, and EU just now put a ban on product that has animal products in it. So if you have beef powder or rendered chicken fat, you're going to have difficulties importing it. They also put a ban on any kind of smoke flavor that you have in. So there's a little bit of that struggle if you have liquid smoke or powdered smoke. That could be in, but people love it. It's huge. There's barbecue stores all across Europe. They sell a lot of then they like the American. It's so funny because some of my friends are Swedish barbecue rub manufacturer, and that they are so proud over the fact that it's sugar free, it's very healthy, and they season very sort of lightly because it's still a little bit of that like Scandinavian minimalistic stuff. And then my rub came out, and I have MSG in mine. I have a ton of sugar and salt, and there's nothing healthy about any of my rubs, but they're like really
delicious.
Good flavor. They're good flavors, and I show people ribs. You can season pretty heavily on this or brisket, and people love it. So I think American barbecue is it's growing definitely in Europe, and it's a huge market that I think there's companies here that needs to start thinking about how can we tap into that.
That's something I'm excited to look more at. I'm not quite there yet. We have all our rubs and sauces made by a co-packer, and we're getting more distribution online and trying to look into bigger retail outlets here in the States. And when I'm ready, for sure, that's on my list because I've been told the same thing, that people are really excited about American-style barbecue in other countries.
And a lot of the big barbecue names in the U.S., they fly over there. They do barbecue classes, and they're always sold out. They have quite a few. KCBS is growing. They have a different, I think it's called the World Barbecue Association, that's very popular in Europe, which I actually find pretty, because they have the traditional, like the brisket, they have ribs, they have those categories, but it goes over 2 days, I think. But then you have best vegan, best dessert, best fish.
I saw some content on that competition, and that lets the pitmaster, the chef, or whatever you want to say, really speak for himself and put his own style or her own style into it, where it's not just everyone's got sweet tomato-based ribs with blues hog on them.
I saw a post from Girls Can Grill, Krista Vanover. She was doing a competition down in Yuma last weekend, and she did the sort of Asian-style ribs during a KCBS competition. And of course, she ended like at the bottom. And I'm pretty sure that those ribs were absolutely amazing because
delicious.
I know how good she can cook. But the fact that they were Asian ribs, and as a KCBS judge, I think you are it won't score. And I think a little bit more of freedom. That's why I like the ancillary categories where you have a little bit more freedom to do whatever you want. But I think there's room for everything, right? I can also see why cooking that steak to perfection or cooking that brisket to the level that some of the top pitmasters, how they do it, that requires tremendous skills. And I'm always in awe of when you taste something like that and you go like, I can't do this.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that post some stuff online. It's just the way it looks. You can tell it's amazing. That chicken fried barbecue, he shows up on my feed all the time. You look at his stuff and you're just like, dude, that's like picture perfect every time.
His chicken, I think that Smitty with Ludumbudu, when he has a couple of, he sometimes turns in wings, and those wings look so good. You have Heath Riles when he posts his ribs, where it's like, oof. It's just mind-blowingly good.
No, that's amazing. So a lot what I talk about is like taking traditionally smoked meats like Texas style brisket or some Carolina style pork or something, but then adding like international flavors to it. That's what I really love to do. Taking a whole pork shoulder, smoking it, and then making it like Thai sticky pork sandwiches with a crunchy daikon slaw, stuff like that. How do you take some of your Swedish background and influence it into an American style barbecue, or is that not even part of the equation? And you just what's your style of barbecue?
I don't know. Actually, that's a great question. I've tried to incorporate a little bit of Swedish flavors to it. And there are some things that I do, like when we cook salmon, for instance, we often throw like juniper branches on the grill and then just place the salmon on top of that. And then that juniper flavor infuses it. And then I was out, because juniper branches are very easy to find in Sweden, not so easy to find in Arizona. So I went up in the high country here, because a lot of people don't realize that Arizona has 11 climate zones. So we actually have forest too, and not just desert and saguaros. So I went up and I spent a day just picking juniper branches. And then I started cooking, and I felt like this doesn't taste well. And then I went online and I looked at that 90% of juniper in the U.S. is poisonous or something like that. And you shouldn't use it for cooking. And I just like, okay, that's probably not good. But yeah, I try to blend maybe not Swedish flavors, but international flavors in general. Yeah, like you said, like Asian. Just add a little bit of soy sauce, sesame oil. There's actually an amazing thing that I bought that I'm getting delivered tomorrow, which is it's called a chio koji. So it's basically koji rice that's been liquefied. And when you marinate that, like any kind of beef or pork in that, you marinate it, it gives an incredible umami flavor, which just blows me away. So I think adding things like that. So I'm actually doing a rib competition here in a couple of weeks in Arizona. So I'm playing around with marinating rib in that sauce to just boost the umami flavor, and then do some sort of Asian style ribs on that and see what happens. But I think it's fun to. I hate the term fusion, because I think sometimes fusion cooking, it's a little bit pretentious, but I like mixing. Why not? Yeah. It's if it tastes good, it tastes good, and then it doesn't really matter where it comes from, right?
One recipe that you made online that I could really tell like he knows his flavors was when you made the chantel mushroom soup, and then you added soy sauce. And what people don't realize is how much just a little bit of soy sauce can add when you already have umami. Mushrooms have natural umami, and you add a little soy sauce to that, the flavor is just out of control. So like when I saw you make that, I was like, wow, he knows what's up.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of saltiness, it adds umami flavor, and it adds a little bit of color too, because when you use cream and mushroom, sometimes the soup can be a little bit light, and you want that real darkness in that brown. Dark brown or medium brown. So I appreciate those are little things that that matters, I think. And again, it's helping people, try a little bit. I've cooked and you probably have done that too. I've cooked so many things that in theory, it sounds good. And then when you actually taste it, no, that didn't work at all. That was absolutely horrible. But that's fun. That's the fun part of cooking as well.
Well, it's how you get better, and anything that's you do, true. Not just about food, but any time you fail or you have to make changes, that just helps you grow and get better in general. So
that's my rule number one when I do cooking classes. I tell people, now you're going to go home, you're going to try this. Don't cook the first time you try it. Don't invite guests.
Right.
Cook it for yourself, because you might not get it right the first time.
Don't use your friends as guinea pigs.
Yeah, don't do that, because sometimes we're lucky, but most of the times we need one or two tries to get it right.